Hi, my name is Katherine Shaw, and today we're going to be talking about you and your culture. So I'm basically a European mutt, and that's kind of what makes up me and is the context in which I live. But today we're not talking about that kind of culture, we're talking about your bacterial culture that lives on and in you and makes up you and is living in the context of you. So now people might get a little bit grossed out thinking about this, that there's bacteria all over every surface pretty much of your body. But this is one of my favorite topics, and so I'm going to try to convince you that this is not gross. It's actually really cool and really important. So why are there bacteria everywhere? Here's a little bit of a history lesson. Bacteria have actually been colonizing and ruling the world way before we did. So first you have the Earth, and it was there 4.8 billion years ago, about. And then for a billion years there wasn't anything. And then there was the first life, and believe it or not, I'm sure this is no surprise, it was bacteria that was there first. And that was about 3.6 billion years ago. And so then for another billion years it was just bacteria, and they were colonizing the world and being everywhere. And then the first not bacteria life, so not bacteria, didn't even show up for another billion years, and that was 2.1 billion years ago. And then you have mammals getting a little bit closer to us. That was 200 million years ago. And then you get us, and that was 200,000 years ago. So when mammals came around and we came around, there was bacteria already there, and they already had control of everything. So it kind of makes sense that they are involved in a lot of how our body functions, because we learned how to live and work with them. So one really cool story that I want to share with you is about your pancreas. So Danny, I'm going to borrow your pancreas here. It's about maybe like there. Pull it out. So this is your pancreas. And your pancreas is a little organ that's by your liver, and it produces insulin. And during the development of your pancreas, it was found originally that this happened in fish. So they took fish and they grew them up without any bacteria on or in them, which is definitely, not natural. That's really hard. And they grew them up and looked at their pancreases, and they found that there was no insulin-producing cells that grew in their pancreases. And then they put the bacteria back. So now they had bacteria. And the insulin-producing cells grew, but only in the presence of bacteria. And then they looked a little harder, and they found that that bacteria was telling the pancreas to develop by giving them a little protein. And so then they found that protein and put just that protein back, and just that protein alone created insulin cells. So that's really cool. And then they looked at human samples and found that our human samples had this same bacteria and a protein that worked in the same way. So in people that have type 1 diabetes, they can't produce insulin cells in their pancreas. So more research on this and how your bacteria are helping you produce insulin cells could help to learn more about this disease, possibly treat it, and that's what they're working on right now. And I thought that was just really cool. So that's just one story of how bacteria are helping you out, and I hope now that you have a little more appreciation for our closest neighbors. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another presentation here at the science class. If you want to know more about the research that you just heard about, check the video description below for a link to that lab's website. And if you want to see more presentations like this in the future, you can subscribe to us by clicking this button here. Thanks very much.